They are really trying their best to get us to spend all of our crystals. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Evil Pola coming out tonight, but not only just Evil Pola, we have the return of Star God Liza. These are two separate banners, by the way, and I don't know why they did this to Evil Pola, because this pretty much makes it to where I don't see anyone summoning for Evil Pola. But let's talk about her banner before we talk about the obvious choice here. Her banner is going to be featuring Evil Pola, Orbis, Joker Celia, Cosmo, and Garland. You guys remember him? He was the Godzilla crossover character. Now, for Evil Pola, I would like to say she's an interesting character, but in all honesty, no, I don't think she is. I think she's just kind of there. She's a character that revolves completely around poison. Like literally everything in her kit is all about poison. As you see with the skill, she buffs up allies' art gauges by 60 if their poison is healed with this skill. Apart from that, this skill does absolutely nothing if you can't heal a poison. The art's able to buff up everybody's stats, and then you reduce damage taken from poison enemies by 30% for 15 seconds. Now, the thing about this art is that I'm curious to see if once the poison falls off, does the damage res fall off too, or is it just on activation? If the enemy is poisoned, you get the DR. The true art reduces the enemy's poison res by 50%, and you buff up all allies' art gauge by 4 if their HP is 50% or more. That means she is type F, so that's the same art type as like Ilya, 12th generation Mizuki, and all that. Her super art is able to poison the enemy for 30 seconds. The more HP Evil Pola has, when activating the super art, you increase your allies' physical damage for 30 seconds, max 150%. If that was enough, she also gets 100% damage and 100% break towards poison enemies due to her Refined Witch of Funeral Flowers. There's only one fight in the entire game that I can see Pola actually being usable against and being like godly, and that's freaking Uga, the one that just came out. Since you have to poison him in order to actually deal damage to him, having this character on the team pretty much does everything that you would want, or practically just any stage where you need to poison the enemy. But how many stages is that in the game? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Like for an example, if status effects weren't bad in this game, Pola would be a good unit. But the problem is that status effects are mostly bad when it comes to in-game content, because so many bosses just have innate resistances to these status effects, or you know, the status effect just won't ever get applied because they're immune. So because of that, unfortunately, Pola's just like an okay character. As for the other units on the banner, I mean, we have Orbis here. Orbis still pretty solid. She's one of the only magic breakers in the game. Like pretty much her and TT are like the top two at the moment. So if you got her, you know, you could definitely use her, and you don't really need like another breaker if you're able to play around her. But she's not like, you know, insane. She does have magic slots, so you have to take that into account. But if you have like the true weapon scatter and then like scatter H2O, you should be able to do a lot of work with her. As for everyone else on this banner, Awoken Celia is still insanely good. You just gotta use her in stages that have a lot of enemies, or use her in like the mines and buff up your damage like crazy. But Cosmo is pretty cool. She's very similar to that of Joker Celia. The more people she paralyzes, the more damage she gets, and of course she deals crazy amounts of damage with her true art if you get her fully stacked. And then we're not even gonna talk about the last unit, because yeah, you don't want Garland. So should you summon on this banner or should you not? Here's the thing, I would tell you to do a multi on this banner, especially if you're missing like Arsula Orbis, because Arsula Orbis is not like terrible. I mean, she's a usable magic breaker. But as for everyone else on the banner, they're not really worth going for. And I don't even want to say going for, like you should spend lots of crystals on this banner because it has Evil Pola and Arsula Orbis. That's not really what I'm trying to say here. It's just, it's a banner, you know what I mean? It's a banner. But here's the thing, with Star God Liza being here, if you don't have this character, this is literally one of the best units in the game. If you are brand new to the game and you get Star God Liza, you literally get one of the strongest characters ever. She has crazy amounts of equipment CT. She has crazy amounts of magic damage ups, not to mention the archgening she applies to the entire team with her skill. Not even an art, she just does it with her skill. Also, this archgen pretty much stacks with every other archgener in the game. Oh, and then of course we can't forget about the ridiculously powerful Ether Recast, which allows her to use each of her equipments twice. You literally get to reset the cooldown and use it again. So that's very strong when it comes to stacking equips. It's very strong when it comes to nuking, because you could use like 2 type zeros, and now instead of you only having 50, you got 100 art gauge. It's just strong. It's just a very, very potent ability that the more you use it, the more you realize how broken this character truly is. But one thing I will tell you about Star God Liza is that she gets substantially better. Well, I don't even want to say substantially better. She opens up a lot once you get the LB7 on her, because she's able to equip a 4-star heal, which allows her to use stuff like Blessed Necklace or other healing items to, you know, of course, heal the team, and she can kind of function as a pseudo healer at that point. This is the character that I would highly recommend all of you guys summon for, instead of going for the Evil Pola banner. If you do not have Star God Liza, don't even look at the Evil Pola banner. Is this character worth the pity? Absolutely. Is this character worth going super deep for? Absolutely. This character is insanely good. One of the best units in the entire game. Now, one thing I will tell you though is please be a little bit careful and a little bit mindful and kind of think through it just a tiny bit, because we do have Kill la Kill more than likely coming right after One Punch Man. One Punch Man has 23 days left at the time of recording this video. If you're saving for Kill la Kill, you may want to take that into consideration. Not only about Kill la Kill, but like it's very likely we get the next character, which I think the next unit from the story is going to be Goddess Celia, and then it's going to be BF Emperor, so we have a bit more time there, but you know, take that into account too. Those are like the two big names coming out very soon, and I say very soon, but we don't really know the ETA on those. Either way, I just wanted to make sure you guys are being mindful of it and not just spending it all, because you may not be as okay as you think you are. Ladies and gentlemen, though, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, have me check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content. Guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave. Don't forget to drink water.